Hello everyone! Welcome back to another Warhammer battle. This is going to be a 3v3 that I played with my pal Surreal Beliefs, and then also Mankirk, who we played some 3v3s with before. We are playing as the Forces of Chaos versus two Dwarven players and a Bretonnian. You're going to have to excuse the performance. The 3v3s get kind of a little taxing on my system, so maybe a little choppy here and there. But we'll start over here with Surreal's army. He has a front line of Chaos Marauders with great weapons. Behind them, Chaos Warriors with great weapons, Exalted Hero mounted, Archaon the Ever-Chosen mounted, 3 Aspiring Champions, a Manticore, and 2 Chariots. Over here you can see King Luwin Leon Kerr, a Pegasus Knight, and a mounted yeoman heading over there to give him some trouble. The dwarf player on the left here has 2 Bolt Throwers, 3 Thunderers, 4 Longbeards, 2 Slayers, Dragonback Slayer, Trollhammer Torpedo, Ungrim Iron Fist, and that's going to be the dwarf player on the left. The rest of the Bretonnian forces, we have a total of 3 mounted yeoman archers, 1 mounted yeoman. We have 2 men-at-arms, 4 spearmen, 2 peasant bows, and a trebuchet, and then 2 Pegasus Knights, and then led by King Luwin Leon Kerr. Dwarf player on the right, we have 4 Longbeards, 4 Longbeards, the group of Slayers, 6 Thunderers, Ungrim Iron Fist, 3 Miners, a Cannon, and they're going to be facing off against Mankirk's army, which is being led by Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Death, on top of a, that's a dragon that they're mounted on. We also have 2 Exalted Heroes. One of them is mounted over here with these Chaos Knights, and 2 Armored Trolls. No, 2 Chaos Trolls. They're not armored. Then the main core of his infantry is going to be 2 Chaos Warriors with great weapons on the flanks, and then 3 Chaos Marauders up the middle, being led by the Exalted Hero mounted there, you can see in the middle, and then 2 Aspiring Champions. And then wrapping around to my army, we have a total of 6 Chaos Marauders with great weapons, 3 Chaos Warriors with great weapons in the middle, right there, and then over here, 2 Aspiring Champions, 1 Chaos Troll that is, actually, I'm sorry, 1 Chaos Troll that is armored. I'm bringing 2 Marauder Horse Masters. They are being led by Sigvald, and that is my army. Yes. Alright. There's going to be a lot going on. First of which is going to be Surreal's Manticore is going to be isolated out and taken out by King Luwin and his group of Pegasus Knights. A single Manticore does not have what it takes to unfortunately deal with the likes of, well, the King. So there it goes. So me and Surreal are going to be teaming up against this one Dwarven player on the left. Mankirk is going to be 1v1ing it on the right here. You can see that he is swinging out his Trolls and the Chaos Knights around the flank. The only things protecting these Thunderers is going to be these front line of Longbeards. And then I guess the 3 Miners as well. But yeah, I'm going to ignore the Bretonnian player because we can see that they are kind of settled back. And so we can have a really good opportunity. I'm going to engage in the front line of these dwarves. And then Surreal's going to be coming out of the forest over here and then coming just kind of down over the hill like this. And I'm just going to push them in from over here. And then eventually the Bretonnian player is going to swing in like this, and I'm going to just devote a couple units just to kind of hold them off. I'm not really that afraid of their infantry, and you can see that I built my infantry around taking out the dwarves, which you can see one of my Marauders is already engaged into melee with the Dwarven Longbeard line. The Thunderers were forced to pull back, and I'm getting more Marauders here and here. I'm going to back them up with the Chaos Warrior, and then also these Aspiring Champions. The Horse Masters are actually going to be going all the way around the flanks to try and apply pressure to these Dragonback Slayers, which are very lowly armored. So it's kind of a really good target for the Horse Masters to take out. This Marauder will come back from routing, and I expect routing in a mostly Marauder army. Sigvald I'm going to put up right in the middle with these Chaos Warriors, and he's going to lead them against these Longbeards. Meanwhile, over... You know, we'll look at this later. It's too much to cover all at once. I'll be spread all over the place. I'm going to get charged here. My Chaos Sorcerer Fire is going to get singled out by these Pegasus Knights. So I'm going to put the Chaos Warriors, the Aspiring Champions, and my Sorcerer dealing with these Pegasus Knights. They're going to be surrounded, and they're not going to be able to escape. You can see I'm starting to apply some buffs over here. And Surreal's army is now coming over the hill. There are my Horse Masters targeting just random people right now, but they're going to be targeting the Slayers soon. And again, I apologize for the choppiness. It's just there's a lot of units in the field. So you can see we're getting a very nice semicircle surround right here. We're going semicircle. Surreal. My brain is working faster than my mouth. Surreal is going to be coming over this hill and threatening all of the backline Thunderers and the Dragonback Slayers over here. You can see my Marauders are taking a lot of fire from the Bretonnian peasants, and you can see the Bretonnian player is marching up on my right flank. But again, I'm not too afraid of this current build that they have. They have very weak infantry that you can see I'm starting to hold off with some Chaos Marauders, great weapons over there, and we are still dealing with the Pegasus Knights here. I moved the Chaos Sorcerer closer towards Sigvald, which is now being singled out by King Luwin Leon Kerr, which I am okay with. Sigvald is kind of a beast in melee. And he's going to be able to tank out King Luwin Leon Kerr here, along with the backup of the Chaos Warriors. Also, Archaon the Ever-Chosen from Surreal is going to come in and join the fun. And this is going to force King Luwin out of this fight. He does not want to fight this, which is very Very good choice. I have Sigvald with his legendary item, so he's going to be able to regenerate any damage that he has taken so far. Meanwhile, my 2 Horse Masters are just applying pressure on the Dragonback Slayers here, just dealing tons and tons of damage, and also at the same time running away from Unkrum Iron Fist and getting shot at by these Thunderers. Meanwhile, you can see that we are also closing in. The noose, you could say, is being closed in here, because Surreal is marched up like this. I'm like this. There's really not much for this Dwarven player to go. And plus, the Chariots back here from Surreal have been just kind of ping-ponging back and forth, hitting these Thunderers and the Bolt Throwers. They've been doing a lot of work. Meanwhile, the Bretonnian player is kind of like half engaged here. Here we go. They finally throw in the rest of their infantry against my Chaos forces over here. We have Chaos Warriors still dealing with King Luwin the Incursion. I'm trying to chase him with Sigvald. You have a Man-at-Arms just kind of hanging out in the middle, and then Spearmen here on the flanks just dealing with my Chaos Warriors and Marauders along with Aspiring Champions. The main Longbeard line of this Dwarven player is holding out to nearly the bitter end. You can see we have taken a lot of damage. Our Trolls have taken a lot of damage from the Longbeards, and also I think some Slayers. Yeah, there's some Slayers actually mixed in here that I didn't even notice until after the battle was done. I was wondering why the hell my Trolls were taking so much damage. Also over here we have a Mounted Yeoman Archer applying pressure on my Horse Masters, which is forcing me to kind of move further and further south, and I'm eventually going to be kind of swinging them around. King Luwin the Incursion is dealing with one of my Marauders group, which is totally fine because they cost almost nothing, and he is a very influential person on the battlefield. So anytime that he is not in the main part of the battlefield, which is over here, I am okay with. But again, we are just continuing our destruction of this left more Dwarven player. These Longbeards are going to, and the Slayers are holding on to the bitter end. We're going to just have to kill them down to the last Dwarf. Some of some Aspiring Champions, Chaos Marauders over there. And for the Bretonnian player, we haven't dealt too much damage to them yet because I've just been kind of holding them off here and there. But we're now starting to focus them as I've thrown Sigvald into these spear units. We have our Chaos Warriors and Aspiring Champions kind of moving down to engage them. And you can see when we do kind of like a hard engage, finally, and threw in like the Chaos Sorcerer in here, the Bretonnian peasant line without the backing of King Luwin the Incursion nearby is actually starting to falter pretty quickly. Speaking of the king, he has come back from routing one of my Chaos Marauders, which again is totally okay with me. And he's going to try and assist his pal Unkrum, who is totally surrounded by Archaon and the Chaos Warriors trying to bring him down. I am going to be directing my Horse Masters to apply all their fire to King Luwin. I really want to try and bring him down as quickly as possible. The pocket of resistance here is finally broken, leaving only one Slayer left, and we're going to be finishing them off here soon. And listen, I appreciate the mounted, actually I don't even need to slow this down. I appreciate the mounted Yeoman Archers because you never see them, but honestly I don't think they're really the best in a matchup against a all Chaos faction, just due to the nature of all the high armor that the Chaos is going to wield. The mounted Yeoman Archers maybe not the best. I've ignored them throughout this entire battle, and they've been firing at my Horse Masters. They've done some decent damage, but like they haven't really been game changing. So I've ignored them through the entire battle. Just wanted to say that, like, I appreciate the change though. Like, it's not just a peasant build, which is what the only thing I see with Bretonnian now. So I like it. I like the mounted yeoman, the 3 mounted yeoman archers, and then just normal mounted yeoman. It's cool. It's refreshing to see. But the reason that they're not really brought often is because they're not that effective, unfortunately. Maybe they'll be more effective against the Wood Elves because, man, yeah, Wood Elves. The trailer dropped for that, and oh my God, Wood Elves! I am so excited. But anyway, you can see we are trying to pin King Luwin on the ground and continuing to apply pressure with the Horse Masters over here, but he is going to be able to fly at the very end of his life there. Unfortunate, but it's, it happens. And then we're going to be throwing the rest of our forces into what remains of the Bretonnian lines, these 2 men-at-arms and these spears that came back from routing. And at this point, the Dwarven player is mostly destroyed. There are a couple of Iron Drake I'm trying again, Troll Hammer Iron Drake torpedoes over there. But you can see that we are now getting a mass shatter. We have dealt enough damage to the combined forces of the Dwarves and Bretonnians that they are all going to shatter. And let me actually take a pause and show what happened on the other side of the battlefield where a 1v1 was going on. So you can see Mankirk's forces are now coming over the hill. I like this map. It's one of the multiplayer focused maps. Alpine Peak? Maybe that's what it's called. It has an MP in front of it in case you're looking for it in the map list. MP something Peak. I can't remember what it's called. But I like the look of it. Also, with the new Wood Elf DLC, we probably get even new multiplayer maps too, with all of their new trees and stuff, which is probably going to look anyway. Alright, awesome. But anyway, we have the Chaos Knights and the Trolls coming around the flank. You can see them taking just a huge amount of fire from these Thunderers. Luckily, they were kind of in the trees, so that probably provided them some cover against the Thunderer fire there briefly. That's just a lot of armor piercing in these 6 Thunderers. 6 Thunderers. So you can see their fire is going to start going up the hill. I call, this is a little weird. Like, the line of sight is probably mostly blocked here, so it's kind of weird that they were even able to fire in this situation. But Oh well, it happened. And you can see the Dwarf player is going to be taking up a very defensive formation, getting their Slayers and their Miners to protect the backline, and totally leaving their cannon out to dry over here. And this, for the most part, is just going to be kind of like a slugfest. Just Chaos Warriors against Longbeards with Thunderers behind. So kind of make this a more cinematic thing. Now the problem with Thunderers, they're very good against Chaos heavy armor, but in this situation, they don't really have a shot. So if you're going to do this type of build, and like, well, the thing is, with this type of build, with the lack of melee infantry, there's really not that many. You can't really afford to send these guys outside of their little box here, but they're only going to be super effective if you were to say, like, pull these people out and do this. And so then you fire into the side and do the same thing over here. But with this very boxy formation, this doesn't really help Thunderers out at all, because you can see they're not really firing. But anyway, Mankirk is going to send their Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Death into the middle to try and disrupt the Thunderers. As the Chaos Knights and the Exalted Hero that's leading them took out the cannon. And here come the Trolls that are going to get hit a little bit by the Thunderers over there. And you can see, like, the Chaos Sorcerer Fire here is actually going to take kind of a beating just because they give the Thunderers something to hit. You see the Soul Blight being applied by the Chaos Sorcerer. Wait, actually, is he death? Yeah, death. To most of the Dwarven army, and that is not going to really actually affect this part of the battle, because it looks like even with that debuff, they're going to be throwing off this Exalted Hero out of the fight briefly, at least. Again, I apologize for the choppiness. The 3v3s are really taxing on my computer. Well, I don't really show too many of them. Meanwhile, though, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord has taken a beating from all of the Thunderer Fire, and the Miners with Blasted Charges just throwing some satchels onto his poor dragon and forcing him out of the battle temporarily. Besides that, though, the Longbeards are being torn to pieces by these Chaos Warriors with great weapons. They're just outclassed here. They have mostly melee weapon damage, like basic weapon damage, whereas these Chaos Warriors are wielding a very high armor piercing. So they are just chewing through the 4 Longbeards that were trying to hold them off away from the Thunderers. And again, the Thunderers don't have anything to really shoot at. They had the Chaos Sorcerer just because they were flying and in their lines. But taking so many Thunderers when you're just going to put them behind a line of Longbeards is not doing you any good. You would be much better off with the Rangers with great weapons in this situation. If you want to take so many, take 6 of those, because they can at least chuck their axes over the Longbeards and into the Chaos Warriors, and that could have changed how this initial situation was going. The Chaos Sorcerer is going to take a bunch of fire on the way back down, and is actually going to be routed off the... actually, I don't know if they're routed off the field permanently, but they are routed from the battle, at least temporarily. Ungrim, trying to reinforce the middle here, is trying to go toe-to-toe with the Exalted Hero and the Aspiring Champions, as well as these Chaos Warriors, Marauders, who were just recently routed off from the middle. And now this is kind of opening up fields of fire for these Thunderers to actually apply some pressure to the routing forces of Chaos. Meanwhile, behind them, though, the Trolls have just been having a field day against these Miners with Blasting Charges, along with these Chaos Marauders and Warriors. Yes, they've been doing really good on the Dwarven's left flank over here, just kind of chewing everything to pieces. The Chaos Knights... I honestly don't know what happened to the Chaos Knights. Maybe they went over... They may have went over to assist our battle, honestly. Because I don't see them over here anymore. I must have missed them. But yeah, maybe they're over assisting us in our fight all the way over there. But anyway, with the Chaos Sorcerer of Death kind of routing and the Exalted Heroes routing, it kind of weakens the leadership here of what remains of the Chaos Warriors. You can see the Aspiring Champions are remaining to fight to the bitter end, but a lot of the other forces have routed. A lot of them have taken damage, the ones who have stayed, and the Trolls are starting to rout as well. And I believe they should be coming back here very soon. That's just so choppy. Meanwhile, the greatest resistance that the Dwarves have over here is just going to be this major pocket of Thunderers, who are decent enough in melee that this is still a challenge, especially when they're backed up by Ungrim Iron Fist. As long as Ungrim has any health left, he is a scary unit to fight, and there's really not much left over here to kill him. All we have are the Aspiring Champions, a group of Chaos Warriors, and these Trolls that are going to be coming in to try and silence these Thunderers. At this point, though, instead of bunching up the Thunderers, what I would do is definitely just spread them out. Just kind of boom, 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 boom. Just spread them out in all directions. Force the Chaos player here to try and spread their forces, because the Chaos forces that are left are very minimal. So you may have a, like in this situation, This person's charging this Thunderer, so actually this is perfect. This Thunderer now has a clear line of fire into their backs. If they charge this Thunderer, then there's 2 other Thunderers that can shoot. Like, just spread your Thunderers out since you now outnumber the enemy player, and wherever they go to hit, you're going to have other Thunderers supporting the Thunderer that's getting hit in melee, and you're going to be able to blast them down. If you're in a similar situation like that and you took a lot of ranged units, that's what I would suggest you do. Just spread them out. If you leave them clumped, it's sometimes easier to micromanage, but it actually is kind of bad for you in a lot of cases. But here you can see the remaining forces of Chaos barely holding it down. The Trolls are in the middle dealing with those Thunderers, getting just shot to pieces by them. Ungrim Iron Fist has routed this one group of Chaos Warriors. And I think it's about now we are routing off, or will be routing off, King Lewin and all the forces over there. Now you can see these Trolls that were routed off and being chased by the Miners are now in the exact opposite. They're now chasing the Miners who were once chasing them. And over here, like, this battle was definitely going to be won by the Dwarven player, but because of just the sheer amount of losses that their entire side took, they are going to rout, leaving only Ungrim left to fight the remaining forces of Mankirk? Sorry, Mankirk. There you go, that is our friend's name here. And yeah, the rest of the battle is just us kind of moving over across the field to try and kill Ungrim. That's it. So, good game to our opponents. We're just going to fast forward this at this point. Ungrim is always a very annoying hero to take out. And there were 2 of them. Also, I think, because like, I never really have seen an Ungrim Iron Fist in this situation ever pull it out. Being the last unit alive, they've never been able to secure a victory for the Dwarves, even though they are very hard to kill. So, I mean, I really think Grombrindle, if you can get your hands on him, or if you already did, I think he is a much better hero. If you want to bring Ungrim, just spend a little bit more and bring Grombrindle. He is one of the lords that every other lord in the game should fear, for very good reason. He is a nasty, nasty dwarf in melee. And also, it's less annoying to have to deal with him at the very end, because even he can break with leadership, and this does nothing except for just kind of extend the battles. But anyway, we'll eventually drop him here in a few seconds. So, whew, that is a lot that happens in these major battles, but they are fun. I enjoy the themes that we do, the whole Chaos versus the 2 Dwarves and the Bretonnian. I mean, I guess the Bretonnian could have been Dwarves. I mean, come on, Bretonnian player. You could have saw what was happening there at the faction select screen. Could have been like, maybe I should be a Dwarf. But they probably took the Bretonnians for the King Lewin, what's the buff? Son of Bretonnia. Because the Son of Bretonnia buff was affecting all of the Dwarf players as well in that. So having a King Lewin on your side in a 3v3 is insanely strong. It's really, really good. But anyway, for the kills here, Sigvald the Magnificent got 47, which is really good. Our Chaos Marauder line did really well. The Spartan Champions did really well. Chaos Warriors did really well. Marauder Horse Masters, they did about 20 kills each, which is not too bad. They were focusing on the Slayers and then on King Lewin. I still think they're pretty good. I think the other 2 Horse Master units are near garbage tier, but the Horse Masters I think are actually okay. And then the Chaos Troll got 69 kills there for Mankirk on the 1v1, 38 for the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Marauders did really well. Spartan Champions kind of same thing. Oh my god, 281 kills on these Chaos Knights. I think they were over on our side after they killed the cannon. I think they came over to our side, and holy crap, did they rack up a bunch of kills. And then the 2 Chaos Trolls that were still over there in the melee, almost 150 here, almost 200 there. That's great. And then for Surreal, Archaon, 13 kills, Exaltio 34 is not bad. Marauder line, again, did really well against those heavy armored dwarves. Chariot, 75 kills is really good. Manticore, unfortunately, got picked off there in the beginning. Then for Carmageddon, 53 kills for the King. Besides that, I mean, actually, these Mounted Yeomen, 54 kills, 29 and 30. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, dude. That's okay. Okay, that's not bad. I'll say that. That's not bad. 48 kills in the Pegasus Knights here. This is the one that I think was sent against me and got surrounded and murdered. And then 36 kills for the Field Trebuchet. That probably got killed by the Chaos Knights after they took out the cannon. I was wondering what happened to the Field Trebuchet. I think I missed it on this recording, but I think that's what happened. Then Son of Sigmar, 63 kills for Ungrim Iron Fist. The Longbeard lines did pretty well. Slayers did really well. But all those Thunderers, they got a decent, well, not even a decent, like they got a kill here and there. But I think there's just too many Thunderers here. Not enough anti-armor, like melee infantry. And then 16 for the cannon, because they got shut down really quick. Derpy Viper, 30 kills for their Ungrim. Their Longbeard line did pretty well. Slayers did pretty well. That's pretty good. Again, Thunderers didn't get to do too much. These Troll Hammers didn't get to do anything. Both Throws did, okay. And then this Thunder Group 20 kills is not too bad at all. So that's going to do it, everybody. There's really no point in doing a cinematic in this one, unfortunately, because the graphics I can't have on Ultra in a 3v3, or else it's just going to be a choppy mess, like just so choppy, so I'm not going to do that like I usually do. But again, I hope you still enjoyed the 3v3, and I will see you all next time. Have a good day.